All right. I think the next exercise will be much simpler, actually. It will be much simpler. One of the best female players in the world with the black pieces in this game, Skripchenko with the black pieces. So I don't think this is difficult. Let's see if you can find black's best way to continue here. All right. Yeah, this one is very simple. So 45 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, Judith Polgar is the strongest. Yeah, but I think Skripchenko is among the best also. She was maybe among the best. Yeah, so many people got it right. I knew this was a simple one. Okay, Eric, you were the first one. Congratulations. Strategic Simmer, Nates, Cleon, GM, Ryan 1414, Tactical Magician. A lot of people found this move, which is very modest yet very powerful. Means thanks, Hong Pao, Charles Hua. You all got it. Oh, we have some other idea, pawn play ideas also. Interesting, that pawn break. Yeah, maybe you can play it, but don't you think I could go e5 maybe at some point? I could take once and play e5 possibly. Anyway, let's see what Eric has to say about this. All right, Eric, it's your move.
Well, so I saw that the white queen was very active, and my queen was not very active, and he's probably gonna go for like d6 or something.
Sure, maybe
Maybe.
bishop d2, rook d1, and so on. Yeah, please,
So then
please
I
continue.
decided to play queen e5.
Nice move.
And like if he backs off, like maybe you can plan on like threatening d5 or something. Maybe even knight takes e4.
I think so. Yeah, you can take on e4. I don't know which knight. Maybe with that knight, and you're actually winning material because.
So then, if he trades your queen, then you just take back, and now you can just put your rooks on the d file, and I think you have a better position.
That's right. Well, one last question for you, Eric. When you look at this endgame, which plan comes to mind here? I mean, like
probably knight e6, knight d4.
Exactly, and I think it's the other knight which can go to c5 later on. Typical King's Indian pattern, and also white has done horrible things on the queen side, so it's no surprise that black is much better. Thanks, Eric. Great analysis. That's exactly what happened in the game, and this is exactly the right moment to play queen e5 because, as you have noticed by now, if we start with some other move, like let's say rook d8, I could play bishop c2, and if queen e5, I have no reason to take anymore. I could just play rook d1, and I still keep. This pawn structure, which is not ideal for black. I mean, it's fantastic on the queen side, but in the center, still this is a slight weakness. So it's very useful to play this move queen e5 straight away. Sorry. So that's how the game went. Queen takes, d takes, bishop c2, rook fd8. Yeah, fantastic endgame for black. Rook 8 d1. Here is what Eric said, knight e6. And after king g2, we already know the idea. We can wait with this move, by the way. We can wait with this one. Knight e7 was played in the game. And later on, the knight on c3 is dominated. Yeah, that's a good way to put it also. I think if you play the King's Indian, if you imagine the pawn on g6 and the bishop on g7, you can sometimes come to this kind of endgame also. It's very good to know about this endgame. Black has an outpost here. White doesn't have that one. White should have some dynamics, maybe a3, b4, or have a bishop on e3. Else, I think this is not so good in the long run. So, yeah, black had a huge advantage. Later on, they played knight e4 and they went on to win this game. White tried f4. Actually, this is the right spirit, no? They played dynamically, but black simply played f6. Here, white made a dreadful mistake. f5, this was not a good idea. Don't put all your pawns on the same color as the bishop, please. And after knight d4, black was basically winning here in this game. All right, so back to the initial position, queen e5, very simple idea. Straight queens. Good knight versus bad bishop. Exactly. You're right, Patriots. d5 was also proposed by some people. I understand the idea, of course, but I think that maybe white could go e5 at some point. Maybe I can take once and then play e5. I know that I'm not threatening to take, but I thought maybe my next move could be bishop c2. And I like this way more than the game situation after queen e5. So again, using this trade, it's not that black is that eager to swap queens, or maybe it's actually a good idea to swap queens, like Eric said, the white queen is active, but it's more about being very happy to take in this way and straighten out the pawn structure. All right, let's continue with a slightly more complex example. I hope we didn't look at this one last time. Let me know if we looked at it last time, but I don't think so. So this is from older days. Two of the best players ever we have with the white pieces, Kamsky, and playing black, Viswanathan Anand. They had this position from the, I think it's from the Queen's Gambit accepted, perhaps, this position. So very double-edged position. You can see we have white king in the center, but white has the bishop pair. The pawn structure is full of weaknesses all over the place here. I would simply like to know. I didn't show it. Okay, thanks, Wacky Hill. Yeah, I wouldn't like to show something again. So I would like to know how you think white should proceed here. Specifically, there is one important move which I would like you to look for here. So I think I'll only ask for two moves, but I'll give you 1 minute 30 and see if you can find the way in which Kamsky continued here and he actually won the game. All right, Amazon, great work. Sorry, maybe you knew this example, or maybe you're just very good with strategy and you immediately spotted what white should do here. All right. Eric, you found it as well. Great work. Interesting plan by Patriots, gaining space. Okay. Pando also thought about that plan. I see what you mean. But I can give you a piece of fact, Patriots and Pando. Maybe that B file, it can actually be used in a different way, not necessarily for a pawn storm. Anyway, we'll speak about that very soon. All right, Ryan, I think I'll take your knight and I'll take the pawn on d4. I don't think you should do that, right? Chess Samurai, interesting move. Interesting place for the queen. And we have a few more winners. Charles Hua, Kwoki, and Minswengs. You also got it. Oh, a lot of people want to play bishop over there. Oh, I see. Interesting. So what if I play bishop e7? Would you then take on e6? Is that the idea? Bishop takes d5, bishop takes d5, rook takes d5, rook takes d5, knight takes d4. No, I don't believe in that for white. Your king is stuck in the center. Probably you have some other ideas, so we'll speak about that very soon. All right, awesome, Owen, great work. You found it also. That's nice. So let's listen to Amazon. All right, Amazon, it's your move with the white pieces. Knight c3, nice. So what are we doing here? I mean, if we look carefully, we can see that white has a backward pawn, right? And black has a very strong square for their knight on d5. So in this way, Amazon, if I take on c3, you will, of course, take with the pawn. You strengthen your center, and this is what I was speaking about. We can now use the b file for aggressive means. But I mean, in the first place, it's fantastic to have this pawn chain, completely restricting black's pieces and also perhaps preparing bishop g2 with strong grip on the long diagonal. And if I take, on the other hand, on e3, Amazon, we take with the pawn, of course. Yeah, else we're blundering this pawn. So here we can clearly see that this is very nice for white. White has managed to improve their pawn structure. They are not in any hurry to move these pawns. They will just stay there, and they will now play around them, so to speak. Maybe bishop g2, maybe the knight can go to c5, maybe the queen can go to b3, and so on. They can safely castle. So it's some kind of long-term weakness. And actually the pawn on e6, if you look carefully, you can see that this pawn has become a huge weakness. It was not so evident before, but now, for example, with the knight is no longer on d5, maybe white can go for queen b3, for example. Black will have a headache with this pawn. So knight c3 is what Kamsky played in the game. A very important tactical detail is that knight e7 wouldn't make sense, right, Amazon? This is strategically fine, but tactically flawed, because you would simply play here, Amazon. Exactly, we just take the pawn. Perhaps not so much for the pawn itself, but the fact that once you take it, black's, position, it becomes less stable. And we have a pass pawn and so on. So, yeah, that's what I think is the best move. All right, quick look at your other suggestions here. Knight f4, the same idea. Unfortunately, I can take on f4 and you're now hanging d4, right? We had bishop g5 was a move which b4 was also proposed, by the way. Yeah, b4 is probably possible also. I think I could play something like queen f7 and then reroute my knight to f5 or something like that. I think black is still in the game. But bishop g5, so many people were saying this. JM Chess, Tori Chess, Cleon 12, Tactical Magician, The Human Person, and Niguo. But what if bishop e7? Anyone who would like to take on White's position here? Maybe Amazon is still around. Okay, Amazon, but you didn't propose this move. I should give the right to move to JM Chess instead. All right, JM Chess, you supported the move Bishop G5, so it's all yours. How would you continue with White here? Would you take the pawn? All right, I don't hear any answer from JM Chess. Anyone else in this group? Maybe Tori Chess? You can play White's moves here, Tori Chess. You take on G. Okay, so I'll probably take back on G5. I mean, so this guy is hanging. I guess White must take. Black will take back. So this is what I was talking about while you were thinking. This cannot be beneficial for White. Correct me if I'm wrong. White is sitting with a king in the center, no? And knight takes, rook takes. This doesn't look healthy for White. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I don't think Black is doing badly. No, Queen E7, Rook E8, and so on. So yeah. Oh, we had some comments here. Queen E5, Queen E4, Rook takes E5. When is that? Queen E4. Oh yeah, right. Queen E4, beautiful move. Rook takes E5. Are you sure it's the best move? Yeah, no, it's pretty, but I think White can take on D4 in the end, right? So I don't follow 100%. There must be something else here, right? Or is this good for White? Interesting. You're good with tactics then, if you saw all this. Oh, nice. So White is better here. Maybe I can play something like Queen A4. Is that possible? No, I'm hanging the Queen on the Rook on D5. But okay, I have something here also. Queen D8. When Queen D8? Oh, right now. Yeah, that's a good move, probably. You're right, Chess Samurai. Great move. Hitting G5 and also preparing to simply... I don't know if you're after the second rook. Probably you are, right? Yeah, you just take the second rook also. Black should be winning here, right? Rook takes G7. Rook takes E5. Oh, Tori Chess, you looked at all this, but you missed Queen D8. Aha. I understand. Interesting. But still, I mean, it looks a little shaky, in my opinion. All this looks a little shaky for White. So I think it's better to avoid it. Yeah, 96 says Wacky Hill. Yeah, maybe. But then probably Tori Chess would castle long, and it would be more or less okay for White. Anyway, complex case, right? And we are moving the pieces. Imagine sitting there and trying to understand this mentally. So I think we can agree that knight c3 is the best move here. But I would like to show you a few more moves from this game, actually. So knight takes e3 was played in the game. Like we concluded, Black cannot really hold on to this. There is also the threat of knight takes and perhaps bishop g2 and some strong attack there. So, sorry, difficult for Black to hold on. I looked at another move here. What did I look at? Queen f7 maybe. I think here they play like this. I think there was a fancy variation like this. Knight takes, pawn takes. Maybe Kamsky talked about all this. I think there was a variation like that. You remember what I said? We don't need necessarily to play b4. We can attack in this way. And I think the queen is coming to c6 or something like that. I think this is dangerous for b6 light. Of course, if b6 light squares are very weak, exactly. Queen c6, I suppose. And we're basically playing for a mate here. So yeah, this looks dangerous for Black. Looks very dangerous. Back to the game. Knight c3 was played after knight takes mate in 12, says Petrus. Okay, you have great calculation then. I rarely see such long mates. But you know when you're on the right track and you can see it on the way, so to speak. F takes e3, and here I think Anand came up with a good move. Okay, Titan Chess, nice to see you again. Queen h5 was played in the game. I like the spirit of this move, Queen h5, because what Anand noticed was that in the long run, he's in a difficult position here. In the long run, Black is suffering here. White has a nice pawn structure. We talked about his weakness on e6 and so on. So Queen h5 was playing the game. Anyone, what did Anand prepare against bishop takes e6? What did Anand had on his mind in the event of bishop takes e6? Anyone? Rook takes d4, says Titan Chess. I think that's too much. It's a beautiful move, but I think I'll just accept that sacrifice and I'll play something like queen. Well, where do I put my queen? Good question. Good question. Yeah, where to put the queen? I didn't want to lose this pawn. Maybe just queen e4 then, right? I centralize the queen, you take, and yeah, I'm the exchange up. Who knows? Maybe you have some chances still. Yeah, maybe you have some chances. Rook d1, maybe bring in the rook and so on. White king is weak. Yeah, that's for sure. I agree 100%. Maybe queen e2 for that reason, right? I could perhaps prepare castling. But you have some counterplay here. Queen h6 maybe, so that you don't let me castle. Maybe. Yeah, this looks interesting. So that's an interesting idea. Rook takes d4. Okay. I didn't have any intermediate moves, right? Rook takes d4. Something with the bishop. No, nothing to do. No, I do have to play like this. Sorry, I was just curious about this situation. All right. So this stop this variation here. So interesting idea. Was this better than the game? I'm not completely sure. Maybe yes, maybe no. What about queen d1, queen takes e5, I guess, no? And knight e2. Does this make sense, or it makes no sense? No, probably it makes no sense, no? Yeah, it's no mate and anything. So interesting idea. Rook takes d4. But Anand had another idea, which I think is even stronger than rook takes d4. Simple move here. Simple move for black. The king is in the center. Yeah, we said that already. Exactly, Winsfangs, you got it. Bishop e7. This was black's idea. And actually, it's not so easy for white to prevent bishop h4 now. Well, basically, it's almost impossible. So if bishop g4, for example, queen h6, you can see that white cannot castle away because something is going to hang on d4, right? So white has issues here. White has some issues. But Kamsky, yeah, already back then was a very, very strong player, and he found an excellent move at this point, which is not really connected to our topic, but still I will quiz you on this move because I would like to see your understanding of this position, all right? So I'll quiz you on this one. White's best continuation. Kamsky ensures a clear white advantage. Please notice it's not connected to our main topic today, but it's still very important to see this. You got it, Tactical Magician. Great work. No tactics, actually, in this solution. Interesting idea by JM Chess, Nates, Amazin, and Wacky Hill. I guess I'll play bishop e7 anyway, right? Knight f4, queen h6, knight takes e6, and bishop h4. You can think about that for a while. So I'm hitting the rook again, and also your bishop is in danger, right? Okay, Strategic Seamer, Eric, Chess Samurai, Awesome Owen, you all got it. Great work. One important facet of chess strategy, know when trades favor us. No? When we have a better pawn structure, very often we're helped by trades, specifically the trade of queens. I think now I gave too many hints, right? All right, Awesome Owen, Titan Chess, Hong Pao, Minsfangs, Daniel Best, Anigo, Thinker. You all found it with or without hints, but you got it. So, Tactical Magician, please tell everybody what you have noticed here.
So, I wanted to exchange queen so I could long castle. So I want queen e2. And
please go ahead.
If they take, I take my king, and then I have I can bring my rook to f5, and e6 pawn is also weak.
That's right. That's how the game went, actually. If you like, you can try out to play like Anand, okay? Please go ahead. Rook f1. Anand, no, I mean like Kamsky. Knight d8, defending the e6 pawn. And here you have a nice little maneuver, I think. There is a little maneuver here. Exactly. The knight is coming. It would like to go to g5.
Yeah.
If black... Yeah, and even to f7. If h6, there is a downside to this move. If you remember last time's lecture, we spoke about this move. The same opponents. If you have a good memory, you will remember, everyone, that we had this game where Anand played queen b6. Anyone remembers that? Queen b6, there was queen takes b6 and bishop takes b6. Or nobody understands what I'm speaking about. I remember, says Amazon. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. It was a Sicilian where Kamsky kind of forgot to play b5 and Anand played queen b6 in order to swap queens, and in this way black would never get a chance to play b5. All right, so let's do it on the other side. Who is it? Tactical Magician. All right, Tactical Magician. Let's do it on the opposite flank. Exactly. What a beautiful move, rook g6. So here black cannot move anymore. It's a horrible position. They cannot move. So Anand didn't do this, of course. Anand instead played g6. And now it's your plan, Tactical Magician. So please go on. Exactly. Knight e5. Knight f7 is coming. They played here rook e7 to prevent that. And just stick to your plan, please, Tactical Magician. Just stick to your plan. Exactly. That's the way the game went. You could have played also knight e4. This was also possible. Black is very, very passive. You have something going on there. Maybe you can, shuffle around the pieces. But I like the way he played. He was not afraid of going for an opposite color bishop's endgame because he knew that he would get this pawn. So it's a very practical way to play. He later on took on e6, and he went on to win this opposite color bishop's endgame because the pawn structure was very much in his favor. All right, thanks a lot, Tactical Magician. Great work. That was the key move here, queen e2. We noticed that the trade is very good for us. We prepare castling, like Tactical Magician says. And by the way, if queen h6, what did you have up your mind here, Tactical Magician? You win the pawn, basically, right? At this point, I think. You can't do that, can you? Or did I miss something? Can't I just take here?
Oh.
So don't do it, please. But you can go for the e6 pawn, I think. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, you can go that way or maybe the other way also. Somehow I think it's better to keep the queen on this side because if bishop e7, I think you can take the pawn, right? Let me know if I'm missing something. Was there knight f3, knight g5, knight e6 earlier? Yeah. What if we stay to the subject here in the chat? I cannot really read the comments here because you're speaking about other things. Knight f3. Anyone? I don't follow. When was that? Knight f3, knight g5. When did the knight go to f3? I don't follow. Well, I don't think it's that relevant. I think we got the main picture here, right? What was this about? Trading queens, because in the long run we have a lot of pressure against the pawn on e6. Why do we have that? Well, because we managed to take on e3, repairing or improving our pawn structure. Black has no pressure on d4 anymore. Why did this happen? Well, because we played here the very nice move, knight c3, offering black to take either on c3 or on e3. In both cases, we will take with the pawn. In this way, we're able to improve our pawn structure. Very nice thinking by Gatakamsky. Great move, knight c3. Only this way, white was able to really destroy black's light square blockade, you could say. If we play slowly, let's say you play something like long castling. I don't know if somebody said this, but I thought about this also. I think black would play queen f7, then they'll play knight e7, they'll play knight f5, finally they'll play bishop e7. They will simply evolution, so to speak, with Dorfman's words, while white should look for revolution here, knight c3. That's what it's about, trying to change the pawn structure. All right, let's move on. Next example. Oh, this is actually, it's not a game. It's something that I cooked up myself. It's a little exercise. Let's see if you can find this one. If black gets c6, it can be very hard to make progress. So here we have a little exercise, training position. It's not played. It was never played. Some of you will notice which opening does this come from. So I would like to know. Yeah, I composed some positions, but this is more like a training position. So, all right, I'll quiz you on this one. Let's see if you can let me know how white should continue here. Only 1 minute for this one because I think it's very simple. All right. Okay, Tactical Magician and Wacky Hill, I forgive you for that. I'm sorry, there are two solutions. Your move is also fine. No problem. I'm pretty sure you saw the idea. So Titan Chess and Patriots, that's what I was looking for. But if you play the other way, you're definitely excused. It's fine also. I hope everybody saw the tactical trick, right? There is a little tactical trick that you have to see. So if they told you that you're wrong because you put your queen there, don't worry. I know that you got it right. It's just that Chessable, it's a fantastic platform. Chessable Classroom is a great place to train chess. However, I'm only allowed to put one correct move. So I cannot put two of them. There are no soft fails, so to speak, here in the classroom. So, Patriots, Meansfang, Strategic Simmer, Thinker, Titan Chess was the fastest one. Some people want to trade rooks, some other people want to double rooks, but none of them are. No, it's not a Benoni, it's a Grunfeld, right? It's a Grunfeld, this bishop d2 variation, bishop d2, bishop c3. So that's why the pawn structure looks like that. They traded here, and then I think they pushed d5, c4 at some point, but this is definitely a Grunfeld. All right, let's listen to Titan Chess. You're on Titan Chess. How does white continue? Queen c3. At first sight, it appears as if Titan Chess has just blundered the pawn, but that's not the case, of course. Titan Chess saw the tactical trick here, which explains. Really? You're surprising me. I don't think that was your idea, right? No, that's not the idea. If you play that, I can play simply rook f8, I think. Aha, that's right. Tori Chess, thanks. Rook e7, that's right. So we are winning the game here because we have a nasty double threat. Right. So you can also say this is like tactics helping strategy or something like that. So rook e1 is the right move. If I play something else, like let's say king f7, bringing the king closer, we have our key move here. Please go ahead, Titan Chess. Are you still around? Yeah, exactly, rook e5. So basically that's the end of it. Rook e5, black can never take on e5, definitely not at this moment, but also after. This would be disastrous to let white have those two passed pawns, connected passed pawns. And whatever happens here, yeah, you can imagine yourself. I mean, I can play something like rook e7. I guess Titan Chess would just double. And once you have this kind of situation, you should look for a second weakness, right? g3. Oh, very calm play. All right, I'll also play some move like that. Let's see how Titan Chess continues here. You have to create some kind of second weakness, right? Titan Chess. King f2. Okay, we're not in a hurry today. Okay, I'll just wait also, just to see how you will continue. Yeah, exactly, Tori Chess. Queen b2 and queen c3 both work, but Chessable only allows one answer, exactly. So I guess this is the right plan, exactly, to create some counterplay on that side. And if I play a5, probably you can combine threats now. You can combine threats. By the way, nobody... Yeah, exactly, queen b2. By the way, nobody said this plan, no? Rook takes, queen takes, and queen h8. That must have been interesting also. But I like your plan, Titan Chess. Very slowly, very safely. We can wait a little for black to see how they react. Maybe some h4 also. And we can even go for, like Patriot says, no? We can even trade rooks and put the queen on e5 in the end. Maybe that's also interesting. Yeah, okay, I'll play bishop d7 just to see what... I mean, I'm also attacking your pawn, right? Titan Chess. But you can defend it, of course. And then I don't know what will happen next. I guess you should defend it, right? And I'll go back. So, what's next? Should you play like... who said it? Patriots. Patriots proposed this plan. Interesting. I don't know if it wins, though. I don't know if it wins. But maybe it does, huh? Looks scary for black. But also queen h8 must be interesting, no? Because we're having a double attack now. Oh, the pawn is hanging. Sorry. How silly. Yeah, the pawn is also hanging. And black has no way to enter with the queen. Right. So, h3, g4 is also an interesting plan. Anyway, we're a little beyond the topic. The only thing I wanted you to notice here is that you should try to bring a rook to e5. And you have to do it exactly that way. Queen c3 or queen b2. You have to choose one of those moves. Because, if you don't do it now, you can't do it ever, right? I'll just trade rooks and I'll play rook e8 and it will be more difficult to win. So, that's it. Queen c3 or queen b2, preparing rook e5. Obviously, we didn't speak about this, but if I try to play rook e8, Titan Chess, I don't even have to ask you. You could take this pawn, but even stronger, just to continue the plan with rook e5, total invasion on the e file. All right, let's move on. Let's go back to 1999. This game, which was played, I think, in Israel. Two Israeli grandmasters played this game. Those of you who know a lot about openings, you can quickly see which opening is this. So, trivia. Which opening is this? Taras, yeah, Chess Samurai, you're the fastest one. This is definitely Taras. There is one Taras variation where black plays c4 quickly, and white has played knight e5, and they have taken on c6. But let me tell you that this was not a good idea from white's perspective. Black now achieves a clear advantage. Clear advantage. Could you imagine that? It doesn't look like that, though. But black found a very, very nice plan. I would like to see if you can find it as well. All right, I think that's enough. So I'll give you 1 minute 30 for this little challenge. Please remember the topic: dynamic exchanges. Try to swap the pieces on specific squares in order to improve or repair or damage the opponent's pawn structure, or repair your own pawn structure. Don't hang pawns. What's going on here? There is a virus here, I think, because we have so many players who are hanging the d5 pawn. Come on, guys, you have to be careful. GM, Hank, Shachmatist, Titan Chess, Daniel Best, Chess Samurai, you're all hanging the d5 pawn. Wacky Hill, you got it. That's right. And there is actually another good move. Your move is great, Wacky Hill. That's what they played in the game. But there is also another move, which RZ 2018, Eric and Minsvengs played. I hope you played it with the right intention. No, I cannot see that here, what you had in mind when you played that rook move. But that's correct. You're hanging the d5 pawn, Guru. Queen takes b2. Was that pawn even... Could you take that pawn? But I'll take on c6 then, Toriches. Are you sure that favors you? Suddenly my bishop on g2 wakes up, I think. Charles Hua. Wrong rook, Charles. There is much more going on the queen side, so you should keep one rook on the queen side, I think. The b file must be very interesting, right? Tactical Magician, can't I take on d7, on d5? You're hanging a pawn, maybe. Well, we'll see. Wait, wasn't this one of the puzzles on the Killer Homework Club? Some idea with f5? I don't think so. No, nothing going on the g file. So Wacky Hill was the fastest one, but Strategic Simmer hasn't touched the pieces today. So all right, Strategic Simmer, you can do this. What do you play here with black? Wow, a6. That's a subtle move, right? This is surprising. Why on earth did Strategic Simmer play a6? I'll play like in the game, b3, try to open up the c file. That's right. That's black's idea. That's why they play a6. They wanted to play queen b5, but they couldn't, because in that case, they're just hanging this pawn, right? So there are two ways in which you can continue here. Like they played in the game, perfectly fine, very good move. I think Greenfeld, he gave this double exclamation mark in the chess informant. Maybe one too much, but still very impressive. No, very impressive. I would only put double exclamation mark when it's something completely, out of the blue. But okay, very nice move, safe to say. Pawn takes. Black had a winning advantage here because this pawn is so strong, and actually white's passed pawn is more of a weakness. What happened in the game? a4, bishop f6. Now the bishop is tied to the pawn, says Greenfeld. And later on, he just doubled the rooks, and he pushed the pawn. And white was in very, very bad shape here. Something like pushing the pawn, and you will even have this little tactical trick: bishop takes, and rook takes, right? Because the last rook will be overloaded. So great work by Strategic Simmer. Yeah, nice, very nice move a6. Those of you who said rook fd8. That's also perfectly fine. That's what the engine asked for, actually. The engine, for some strange reason, prefers rook fd8. I don't know why. I like his move more. But okay. Rook fd8, and we have the same idea of queen b5 next turn. b3, we play queen b5. Aha, exactly the same idea. So somehow this is very gloomy for white, this pawn structure. Terrible to play this, and this bishop cuts like a knife. Rook fd8 played Minsvengs. Yeah, if you played rook fd8, consider yourself winners, but only if you actually understood that you should play queen b5. But I guess you understood that, else this move would make no sense, right? Other moves, rook b8, for example, I would run to play b3 here. I'm extremely happy if I'm able to trade off that pawn. That's the worst enemy for white here, the c4 pawn. So this would be very, very good news for white if we can trade trade there and I can take. Oh, you want to continue, Patriots? No, but I won't take on c6. Hey, I'm not crazy letting you play b2. No, I'll just take back. Now I'm ready to take one of your pawns. So at least equal here. I don't think you have so much here. At least equal for white. So the trick is to keep this pawn and to trade queens on b5. How can we do that? Supporting this pawn in some way. a6, and also, I mean, notice that we can play queen b5 if they don't trade. If they play something else here. I don't know which other move we could play though. I can't see a single move for white here. I cannot protect the pawn. This bishop is extremely annoying. Yeah, I can't see any move. If anyone can see a move for white, which is not b3, please go ahead. Yeah, opening disaster. Yeah, safe to say this is some kind of opening disaster. Yeah, I can't see a single move for white. I'm sorry. But even if there was a move, if white passes, I would probably just play queen b5 anyway. And then I'll bring in the rook and I can even take the pawn. By the way, taking the pawn, you let me take on c6 and you give me some hopes of taking the pawn on d5. And I think I'm still in the game, right? So don't rush to play that. And among other moves, bishop d7, I think it's a bad idea. I have bishop takes d5, right? So important to see the tactics. We want to trade queens. However, we should not drop this pawn. So you play either a6 or you play rook d8. Aha. All right, time to move on. What else? Let's have a look at another pawn structure. This pawn structure comes from some kind of... Yeah, I can't even say. Okay, you will help me to classify the following pawn structure. How should we name this pawn structure? Sorry, it didn't. Hold on. Some technical issue here. What mistake did I make? Hold on. Be patient, please. Here we go again. All right. Yeah. So, anyone, could you put a name on this pawn structure? I think it's some kind of reti where they swapped bishops. I wish all coaches used Chessable. Yeah, it's a very nice platform. I really like Chessable. King's Indian attack. Yeah, but the F pawn is not. This is not a common place in the King's Indian attack, right? The F pawn. So I don't know. Call it whatever you like. This pawn structure. That's not important really. Reverse Dutch. Yeah, something like some Dutch structure, but very modest structure for black though. In the Dutch, I mean, you usually have some pawns a little further up, right? Anyway, black has just played bishop f6. I would like to know the best continuation with white pieces here. All right, I'll give you just 1 minute 35 for this. All right, let's see if we can find this. Aha, you're right, Titan Chess. That was very quickly. Strategic Simmer. I guess you already know what this is about. You already understood this topic. Mean Swangs, Nates, RZ 2018, Guru, Hong Pao. You all got it. That's what that's what dynamic exchanges are about. Trying to swap your pieces in a way in which your pawn structure is improved. And that's what the Chilean Grandmaster did in this game. Aha, Pando, Daniel Best, Quocky. A lot of people got this right. That's great news. Some people want to trade on f6. Are you sure that's really beneficial for you? Maybe, but I think, yeah, okay. Shachmatist, Awesome Oven, Thinker, Quocky. Everybody got this right. Maybe because you know the involved topic. Oh, some people want to swap queens. Interesting idea. What if I take and I play c5 there, Chess Samurai, Tactical Magician Ryan and Charles Hua? Maybe I can go c5, put some pressure on d4. That's not convincing, is it? Well, we'll see. Maybe you have some tactics prepared there. We'll check that also. All right, time's up. So black played bishop f6. I think they were just waiting for bishop takes f6. They will take with a knight. I think g takes is too fancy. It's safer to take with a... How do you miss this? Yeah, it's easy. I agree with you. A strategic simmer. It's not so difficult. But okay, we all have different ways of thinking and there can be many ideas involved and so on. The knight would like to go to d5 maybe. It's a good place for the knight because if c4, it can travel to b4 now that these moves are included. So I think this would be roughly equal, this position. It's true that white can maybe put a knight on e5, but yeah, maybe black can defend, bring the queen to defend there. And some kind of Caro-Kann already, I would say. This is some kind of Caro-Kann structure. Those of you who play the classical Caro-Kann with bishop f5, you would probably feel home in this position. You would feel acquainted with this position. I think it's okay for black. We can perhaps go back with the king and put the knight on, I don't know, on d5. And wait a little for white to commit also. However, nothing of this happened in the game because Enriquez found a much stronger move here. So much for trash talking. I don't know who is doing trash talking. Anyway, let's listen to Minsfangs. Please go ahead, Minsfangs. What do you play here with white? Exactly. Bishop e5. That's a pretty move. Only if you understand strategy you can play a move like that. I mean, you're not threatening anything, right? It's not a tactical move. It's a strategical move. And it's very powerful. I'll try to mute everyone. Okay, now I think everybody's muted. Yeah. Oh, so interesting opinion by Titan Chess. Maybe black was even planning to go e5. Although I doubt it now because white could then go f5. Well, who knows? Maybe yes, maybe no. But okay, you have one less thing to worry about with white. When you play bishop e5, they cannot go e5 anymore. So this is already a little uncomfortable for black. You can see that if knight takes, pawn takes, and they lose a pawn immediately. If they take with the bishop, we take back. And again, we have... who is talking here? It's who is not Titan Chess. It's Minsfangs. All right, Minsfangs. I'll play king g8. What would you play here? Just to see that if we understand this. Why is this so beneficial for white? Exactly, Titan Chess. I'm just waiting for Minsfangs to play that also. Titans, exactly. The knight will land on the d6 square. So now it's clear to everybody, right? We didn't have that outpost on d6. This is not an outpost. I mean, if we try to occupy that square, black can just move the knight somewhere and the rook is defending it, right? But now it's different because now the pawn is on e5, so we have created a outpost for our knight, and also we're very happy to have the semi-open file and so on. Attacking perspectives, right? Double the rooks, and I can't really do this. Double the rooks and so on. All right. So bishop e5 was playing the game. Black played king g8. Can you guess the next move here, Minsfangs? You would really like black to take on f6. So how can you kind of provoke them to take on e5? Sorry, how can you provoke them to take on e5? Any idea? Or should I just quiz you? Okay, I'll quiz everyone for this instead. All right, I'll quiz everybody on this one because I know that you're very fast thinkers, right? Wacky Hill, you're the fastest one. Quacky, you're the second fastest one. Nates, Charles Watcher, Samurai, GM, Amazon. So, I get the point. Half a point for all of you, okay? The other move is nicer, for sure. But we will give you half a point for that move. Nice work by Tactical Magician, Eric, Toriches, Hong Pao. You all understood this. Yeah, excellent. So basically, we're speaking about two different knight moves, right? What about that other knight move? Yeah. I'm not sure. What would happen if the knight goes there? Maybe I could go back with a bishop then, right? Yeah, okay, we'll talk about this. Let's wait for everybody to make up their mind. Okay. Pando, Hank, RZ 2018, Tori Chess, Hong Pao, great work also. So, please go on, Quacky. What did you notice here? No contact with... Yeah, exactly. 94. Pretty move, because we're now trying to double their pawns, right? To damage their pawn structure. They can certainly not take twice on e5, right? We have knight c5 and we just pick up the knight. So that's what they played in the game. Now, knight c4 is also interesting, like a lot of people were saying. I was thinking about this. What if I go back with the knight? Knight c5, rook d5? When is that, rook d5? The queen is hanging Kyung at that moment, so that's not possible. No? Bishop e7, I think we could play at this point. Bishop e7. I don't follow. Okay, we will look into this again. Let's see if we can straighten this out. Knight c5, queen. Oh, I understand. Interesting point. Yeah, you're right. I mean, your intention was very clever, but I think that pawn will fall off, right? I'll play something like queen f4, no? So I'm attacking here, and if you play queen f5, I mean, I can take, or I can play, well, queen d6 maybe, or queen c4, and I'm just... Oh, no, I cannot play like that. So, sorry. I need another cup of coffee. Yeah, I have several moves here, but queen takes f5 must be the cleanest one, right? But maybe I can play something like 97 also. I don't know. But yeah, queen takes f5, and it's case closed, I think. Too much material. All right. So knight e4, very strong move. Knight c4 was proposed also. I thought maybe I could play bishop e7. Well, if you have the knight on e4, you have some more attacking chances. Is that so? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe you could play something like queen g4 here, right? Looks kind of nice. So what does this mean? Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Yeah, maybe this is also possible. So, okay, half a point if you play knight c4. Somebody wanted to say something here. Titan Chess, Strategic Simmer, you're raising your hands. Okay, good luck, Titan Chess. I hope you will win your game. I wish you the best of lucks. I don't know even where you're playing, your tournament, but okay. You will have to tell us next time. Yeah, good luck. Bye-bye. All right, so back to the game. King g8 was played. There was the move knight e4, pretty move. Bishop takes e5, f takes e5. Maybe they should have played bishop e7, but like we were saying, queen g4 looks kind of scary. So they took on e5, bishop takes e5, f takes e5, and we can clearly see the benefits of all this. White is very happy to have taken on e5. They have improved their pawn structure. They have cleared the f file. They have nice square for the knight and so on. Rook f8 was played in the game. Queen h5, white starts bringing all the pieces to the attack. Queen b6. Anyone, what would you play here with white? I think I'm talking too much. Send it to the chat or whatever, what you will play with white. 96 says Shachmatist. G4 says Wacky Hill. If I tell you that they used the rook move in the game, what would you think? 96, I think you're allowing knight takes e5. No, sorry. The queen just takes. Yeah, 96 maybe was possible also. Queen c5, perhaps. Is that possible? This pawn is also hanging. Yeah, what happens with knight 96? Good question, no? What's the black play here? f6, is that so? Can I play f6 and survive? Or I'm just in bad shape here? I don't know. Pawn takes, knight takes, and the knight is hanging, right? So, yeah, knight goes back maybe, and take, and so on. Yeah, interesting idea than knight e6. In the game, they played rook f4. I like this move. It's very non-committal. You just bring more pieces to the attack. You don't show your cards. Maybe you'll play knight f6. Maybe you'll play knight e6, and so on. Very flexible move. Rook f4, queen d4. Funny move, right? It looks like they're dropping the queen, but they're not, of course, because they can take with the knight. So white saw this. Knight takes f6, knight takes f6. At first sight, this looks very promising for white, but black can play queen c3. Anyone, what would black play here? I'll quiz you on this one, just to make it more fun, okay? I'll quiz you on this one. How should black defend? Let's speak a little about defensive chess also. The king is in bad shape. You're right, Chess Samurai. That's the right way to go. Tori Chess, Amazin, Wacky Hill. That's what I call mobilization to the defense. Bring pieces to defend your king. Okay, a lot of people found this one. I don't even have the time to name all of you. But yeah, that's what this is about. Sometimes the king needs some more fellow defenders, just like in soccer, for example. In soccer, we also need defenders when the opponent's team is in our zone and so on. So, Chess Samurai, you can play out black's move here. Very, very simple. Before they mate us, we must look for some kind of counter attack or defense, or call it what you like. Exactly, rook g5. Nice. So they didn't play this in the white. Very clever play by white. They kept all the doors open here. After queen d4, they played simply rook e2. Nice, flexible move. A lot of tactics in this position, because now if black takes on e5, now they are indeed dropping the queen, right? I hope everybody's okay with that. We understand this, right? Now they're dropping the queen. So a lot of cat and mouse play here. Very smart move, rook e2. Queen a1 and d4. Great move, because White has seen that if queen takes, knight e6. Now you see what I mean, right? Now there is no check or anything on the second rank. So white will pick up this pawn and they will have a very strong attack. Great calculation by the Chilean grandmaster, no? So d4, queen d1, knight f2. Interesting play by white in this game. Queen f3. We are very far beyond our topic here, but okay, I thought the game was interesting. Queen e3. White is just waiting for the right moment to strike, no? But they're also keeping track of their own king and so on. c5, d5. Yeah, some tactics here. You can see e6 is coming up also. They played very well in this game, I must say. Knight g4. Now it's the right moment for this. They could have taken this pawn, but no, they keep all the options open. This is highly flexible play in the attack. Queen c1. Anyone, what would you play with white here? I'll quiz you on this one. 30 seconds. The most powerful, of course, Thinker and Patriots, you got this very quickly. No reason to take that pawn, else I wouldn't have quizzed you on this one. So, try to find the most forceful continuation here. Okay, everybody got it right. That's great news. I can see you're very strong attackers. So, yeah. Sometimes when we are attacking, we should keep control and don't play the most obvious moves. Sometimes it's better to keep all the doors open, and that's what white did here. All right, Thinker, what did you play here with white? No reason to take. We can instead soften up black's kingside defenses. Exactly, that's what happened in the game. They played here h5, and here we have many choices. It's slightly complex position. Maybe if we take, they can play king d7. In the game, they played knight h6, king g7, knight takes f7. Why did they take with the knight? Well, I guess mainly because they're attacking many things at the same time, right? So, yeah, the game is over already. Queen f5, pretty move, bringing more pieces to the attack. That's how this game ended. Very, very pretty attacking game, but please notice that it ended with an attack, but it started, the middle game here started with this very nice move, bishop e5, because white knew that it was very much to their benefit to open up the f-file. And maybe, just maybe, black should have avoided this. I don't know. Maybe they should have played bishop e7, but okay. White could then play queen g4. And also, I think, psychologically speaking, they played bishop f6, and now they have to go back. It's more or less like acknowledging a mistake, right? It's like saying, okay, I was wrong. That's difficult for all of us. But maybe, just maybe, this was actually a better try. All right. I think we're almost done. Yeah, I think I'll show you my last example. I think we're almost done today. Let me bring up my last example. This is a much more quiet example. Let's see here. This example is from Britain, from England. Black has just played here the move knight e5, I think. Knight, if I'm not mistaken, knight e5 is the last move. White found a very smart plan here. So it's still not about dynamic trades. It will be later, but first I would like to know what you think is white's best plan here. So, well, should I ask you to write in the chat? No, I think we will use the quiz instead. So, I'll ask you for white's best continuation here, all right? I think I'll just quiz you for the two next moves here. Yeah, two next moves, all right. So, take your time, guys, take your time. It's not about a combination or anything. It's more about strategy. Try to understand in this pawn structure what would white like to do here in this structure. What is this about? Which plans are useful in this structure? What does it mean that white has a pawn on c4 and black has a pawn on d6 and so on? All right, interesting plan by Eric Chess Samurai, Amazon JM Chess. That looks very natural. Safe to say you can get half a point for that. I'll take on g2 and I'll play g6, I think, if you play like that. g6 because I don't want your knight to go to f5, okay? So nobody plays like Bates, British international master. Nobody. Yeah. Quocky, you're very, very close. Maybe you can find a similar move, Quocky, but with another touch to it, with an additional merit to the move. Okay. Interesting pawn move by Tori Chess and Shachmatist. If I take on f3, you take back. All right, I don't understand that completely, but we'll talk about it, okay? Rook d5, strategic simmer in Petrosian spirit, sacrificing the exchange. Yeah, that's a very beautiful move, but I'm not sure it's correct though. Why not 94? Yeah, we'll talk about it. I think even the engine was saying 94, but I prefer what the human played in the game. Anyway, we'll see. So we had a lot of different ideas here. Nobody got it completely right, but closest to the game was Quoki, I think. So where is Quoki and MM Thinker? All right, Quoki, what was your idea? Aha, knight e1. Knight e1, why? And if I take on g2, what was the point? So what's up with this knight? What will happen with this knight? I'll play something here. Knight, I'll just play some random move. Let's say rook d8. What will happen then? Exactly, knight f4, the knight will come to d5. If black plays c6, they will always have slight weakness. Actually, we came across such a pawn structure, no? In that Skripchenko game. But now it's very much different because black will never be able to take on e5. And white can perhaps start some slow pressure at this pawn, or maybe there is some other plan. Maybe we can expand with b4 and so on. Yeah, d6 is weakened, exactly. So, great. They didn't play knight e1 in the game. Sometimes when we have a plan, we can try to execute it in different ways. So white noticed that, okay, if the idea is to trade on g2, I can move the knight somewhere else, right? So, Quoki, what do you say? If you got a second chance here, a slightly more annoying move, which would that be? Okay, because everybody's saying that. But now you're not sticking to your plan anymore, right? Now you're not sticking to your plan. Now you can't I'll play something like g6 here. Maybe, I'm saying, no, so that you don't get knight f5. So I like, okay, you can start, I understand your plan. You want to play knight e3, knight e5. Maybe I can go knight g4 though. And I'm now attacking this pawn. And if you play e3, well, then you can't use the square anymore. So yeah, you're right, Patriots. Knight h4 is the move. That's what they played in the game. All right, we'll come back to this very, very soon. Let's speak very quickly about your other moves here. Knight takes e5, very surprising move. Maybe because we're speaking so much about trades. But I think bishop takes g2. Hey, what happened, Chess Samurai? I think the engine was even saying this move. Yeah, I'm using the engine sometimes, Chess Samurai. I don't want to make blunders or anything when I prepare these examples. And I can notice that sometimes the engines, they won't play what the humans play. But still, I will prefer the human move because it's simply more human. It's more understandable for humans. But okay, that's a different discussion. Maybe we can talk about it on some other occasion. So bishop takes g2, and here we can see that when white takes, I guess black could just take on e5. And if there was a claim that this pawn structure was favorable to white due to this d5 square, well, there are no minor pieces left, right? So it's a great structure for white, but you don't have the right tools here anymore. You don't have a knight to put on d5, for example. So don't trade knights. That would be my conclusion here. Or keep at least one minor piece on the board. So small amounts for white. Yeah, very small, I would say. So it's better to keep at least one minor piece on the board. Some people were saying c5. I didn't understand this move because I can just take on f3. Correct me if I'm wrong. And maybe you had some idea that you would take on d6 and ruin my pawn structure. Strategically fine, but I guess tactically flawed, right? Or is there something that I'm missing here? Rook e1. Okay, maybe you can play rook e1. I don't know. This is crazy that this can work. Oh, crazy. Wow. Okay, maybe we should take this more seriously. c5, dynamics. Now we're speaking dynamics here. So what if I take with the pawn on c5? What was the idea? You take on e5 and I take on g2. Yeah, now I don't understand this anymore because I'm attacking the knight, right? So anyone like Tori Chess or Shachmatist, if you have something going on here, let us know. I can't see really how this works. So yeah, c5, thematic idea, of course, but maybe we should prepare it. So b4 was proposed by some people. That's probably possible too. Okay, now black got the a file, and maybe they can start swapping pieces. I think the game is drifting towards a draw here, actually. So yeah, this pawn is also hanging. So I don't know if you take. I guess you would have to take with the pawn. Yeah, interesting idea. We will speak about this next time, by the way. We will speak a little about such captures. in the next installment, but not today. There is simply not more time. So b4 is also interesting, but back to the issue here. In this structure, we should probably always try to land a knight on d5. By the way, guys, do you know in which opening you can come across this opening? Let's show you very quickly something that I came to think of. In the Budapest Gambit, I don't know what you play. If you face this with white, if you play d4, there are different variations here, right? But you could play this variation. If you don't have anything else to play, check out this variation. I know it's recommended in some books and so on. I think it's very interesting. You bring a knight to d5. It's basically this same structure, right? So bringing the knight that way, you can go this way. Okay, black can play something like d6, but then you can go that way instead. They cannot take the pawn, obviously. And you can bring the knight to f4. I know they can play with fianchetto and so on, and you can have this kind of position. But basically, we're speaking about the same thing, right? We can put the knight on d5 at some point. I always thought this was very interesting to play, this system. So, oh yeah, a5, rook a6, but you can safely forget about that, right? I understand what you're saying, Chess Samurai. Chess Samurai is speaking about that famous variation, you know. This one, how is it? Yeah, if you don't know about this, you can run into trouble, right? Yeah, I'm not an expert on this variation, but it's something like this. You take, you put the knight there, you play a5, and you play rook a6. And if you're lucky, your opponent doesn't know about this plan, and you just crush them in the attack, right? If they know about this plan, they will make it more complex for you. They'll play something like knight e4 or whatever. But okay, that's a different story. I just wanted to talk about how we can reach this pawn structure. All right, back to our example. Let's wrap this up. We're speaking about this position. So Quoki told us how to play here. Exactly, knight h4. This is the right move, I think. Although I think the engine was preferring knight e4. But okay, I'm on the human side in this case. So knight h4, I like this move. It has a very clear-cut plan. Also, the knight is looking at f5. I mean, if you played knight e1 instead, I could theoretically think about c6, which I cannot do now because in that case, I'm running into knight f5, right? So, yeah, knight h4, they played in the game bishop takes g2, knight takes g2, black played knight g4, knight f4, knight f6. I don't know if I have to quiz you on the next move. Well, I'll do it anyway. So, last quiz for today, I think. What should white play at this point? That's right, Amazon. You learned your lesson here. Patriots as well. Aha. That's what we're speaking about. Exactly. Tori Chess, Awesome Oven, Bucky Hill. You all got it. I hope you understood that there can be a pawn trade, right? If black takes the pawn on e2, you can take another pawn, right? Thinker, Nates, Pando, Kwaki, Hong Pao, Eric, Chess Samurai, RZ 2018, GM. That's completely right. That's what we're speaking about today. Exchanges in order to improve our pawn structure, dynamic exchanges, so to speak. Trades which modify the pawn structure, hopefully in our favor, right? So everybody got this right. That's great news. I can see that you're fast learners, but definitely you knew about this topic anyway from before. So this was more like some kind of repetition, perhaps. Yugoslavian Berserker, that's a funny name. Aha, you understood. Yeah, nice. So, Patriots, yeah, you can do this one, all right? What did you play here? Why to play?
I played knight d5 because I first saw that once the c pawn's off, you can eventually just get the c pawn, and eventually then the d6 pawn will fall.
Exactly.
D6, and eventually the queen side just won't be active.
That's right. Excellent conclusion. So 95, you can play it out yourself if you like, Patriots, thanks to this great chessable classroom interface. So 95, yeah, I mean, if I don't take, I guess, well, this is an interesting question. I don't know if you thought about it, anyone. But I guess white is very much favored by this endgame, right? Exactly. But here again, I mean, I understand white is much better, but still, it's a pity that we don't have any minor pieces left, right? So such weaknesses. Such weaknesses are more serious when there are minor pieces around, I would say. But even then, of course, white should have good winning chances. But maybe, just maybe, queen d8 was actually better than taking. All right, in the game they took, pawn takes, and just like Patriots is saying here, if queen takes e2, well, white will take on c5, and they are basically winning a pawn here, and they will have a very strong passed pawn. So this is not good for black at all. In the game, they played instead rook c8, and white plays simply e3, stabilizing the position. And let me ask you for one more move here, Patriots. If this is black's main weakness, what should your next move be here? What do you think?
Probably something, probably like queen e5, or you could just go rook d4.
Aha, that's what he played in the game. I think your move is fine. If you take on e5, my main concern is that it will be easier for black to defend the pawn, right?
Oh yeah.
But if you keep the queens on, it's not so pleasant for black to bring in the king because it will be exposed, right? So that's the right move here. And then I think he played something like, what did he play? Did he play rook c4 maybe next turn? Yeah. But anyway, it's clear to everybody that white could even consider maybe e4 and queen d3, rook c4, slowly putting pressure on this pawn. It's safe to say that this is play against one goal. It's a difficult position for black. Thanks a lot, Patriots. Great work. So please notice, guys, this simple motive, knight e5. But in order to get there, we had to see the whole sequence, right? I mean, we had to understand that our knight is trying to get to d5. And even in the event of trading on d5, this will be a very pleasant position for, how did I play in the game? Something like this. It will be very pleasant for white to play knight d5. So that's what dynamic exchanges are about. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining in. Thanks to USCS, Greg Shahadi. Thanks to ChessDojo, Kostya, and Jesse. And Chessable, of course, a great Chessable classroom. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. See you next time.